Hey, what's up, guys? I'm live here in the studio. I'm going to do a quick talk on emotional and binge eating. I'm going to wait for some people to get on because I did tag some people that I knew wanted to attend this. I forgot my camera stand, so I'm trying to get this set up. So I don't want to have to hold the thing the whole damn time, though. So I'm going to see if we can get this worked out. I might not see your comments because I have this jammed in some towels. Somebody give me like a thumbs up if you can hear me, though. Anybody? Tara, I see you're on. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Negative. Brandon's on. All right. Brandon, can you hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear. Okay. All right, cool. Do me a favor. Guys, today I'm going to talk to you about emotional and binge eating. I'm going to talk really fast because I only have a short time to do this in today. If you know somebody who's maybe has a New Year's resolution, go ahead and maybe share this on your page because it will probably help them. Because within the New Year's resolution, there's going to be some nutritional stuff they're probably working on, and hopefully some of this will help them. So again, you can actually share this live on your page now if you'd like. Again, I'm only available till 2:30, so I'm going to be talking really fast. I did kind of go over some of this last week, but I wanted to break it down even more because I think it's really valuable, and it's really important if you're trying to, whether you're trying to lose weight, get fit, get healthy, the emotional and kind of physiological effects of food and impact of food is really important to understand. So the psychological component, here's what I see. I see tons of guilt from people who binge eat, and this just leads to one thing. It leads to more unhealthy options. So what you have to understand, you can't have the snowball grow, and for a lot of people, there's this comparison to other thing that happens. You might look at maybe an Instagram person that you follow or some other fitness professional, and it gets really easy to start looking around and thinking, oh my gosh, these people can do it, why can't I? Tira, funny. And when you start comparing yourself to others, it's really easy to, again, the guilt just comes and piles on because you don't understand why you are struggling with whether it's a weight issue or a fitness issue. But here's what you have to understand. When you're looking around and you're seeing somebody who maybe is in the fitness community, they already have success in this area. They might not have always, but they probably struggle in some other area of their life. So if you were to talk to me, nutrition and working out, I kind of got it dialed, and it's integrated into my life, and it's something I enjoy, and it's kind of easy. But where do I struggle? Oh my God, I'm terrible at being organized. I'm terrible at systems. So I struggle in these other areas that I have to work on and have to come up with tools and strategies. So just understand, when you're looking around at people and you're seeing all of this success and you're wondering why you're struggling, understand those same people, they might be struggling in their relationship, or they might be struggling with their finances or their career, and that you probably have mastery and success somewhere in your life. And the reality is you can take the same strategies that have given you mastery in one area, and you can translate it over to this health and fitness component in your life. So don't look at it as you're necessarily this failure and that you struggle. It might not be your area of expertise where you have. Kat says you got a haircut. I know my 7-year-old nephew had a better haircut than me, so I had to follow him. He was more stylish than me. So don't compare yourself to others, and just remember, you do have mastery in certain areas of your life, and it will transfer over. Okay. Again, I'm going to talk really fast. Sorry. All right. The implications of processed food. We talked about this a little bit last week, but I want to dig into it a little bit more. And I truly would tell every single one of you to read The Extraordinary Science of Addictive Junk Food. It's a really, really empowering article to read because it's going to unveil the manufacturing process that food goes through and makes it almost impossible to not overeat. So I'm just going to break down a few of these components that go into this. So when you buy processed food, you have to understand that it's essentially been market split tested or researched, like what an entrepreneur would do for opening an email. So they've taken the color of the can, they've taken colors and different syrups, and they've market tested them, and they add these things in, hundreds and hundreds of different variabilities, all split tested one at a time until they can just niche it down and find the food that you like the most. Okay? So Kat said, great article. Yes, read it. I'm basically breaking it down for you, but you should read the article because there's more to it. But think about that. They take millions of dollars they're using mathematicians at this point to create food products that you like the most. Again, this isn't some evil plot to make you, unhealthy and overweight. They just want you to like the product the most. But they are using a lot of research to create these really amazing formulas that are almost impossible to say no to. So again, they're going to market test the taste, the smell, the texture, color of the packaging. They have market tested all of that, and they just split test it till they find the thing that you like the most that you basically can't say no to. When they find that winning formula. So if you ever look at something like, like Pringles, I guess. So Pringles, there was original Pringles. And once they got that original Pringle down, the taste, the shape, how much salt, sugar, and fat, then they start rolling out other flavors, okay? And they've already got the winning formula, and now they're just going to add some variability that essentially is going to allow you to like it more, okay? So just understand, it's the same little tricky product that's addictive, and then they just put a little twist on it, and you now have infinite options. Bliss point, we talked about this last week, or I touched on this. Really, really important to understand. All of these things I'm talking about, they are trying to achieve this optimal bliss point. So if you think of bliss on a curve, there's this point right here where it's the sweet spot. And they use sugar, salt, fat, color, taste, texture, shape, all of those things to come up with the optimal bliss point. And too much bliss, too much sweet, too much fat, too much salt, you won't eat as much of it. So you can even test this at your house. And I had a tea the other day at the coffee shop, and I got a chai tea, and I asked them to put like half the honey, and it has vanilla in it, and I didn't realize vanilla is from like those pump things. And it was super sweet. It was good at first, but then by the end of it, I actually didn't like it. It was like I couldn't get through it. It's too sweet. So that's past the bliss point for me. Now, if they would have found that a little less sweeter, I probably could have had 4 of those. So again, through market research, they've figured this out and they've got it down. So they're trying to market foods on this bliss point. You need to understand that. There's other things like Doritos use a thing called flavor saturation. So you'll ever notice that there's no single flavored like Doritos items. Like there's not like just garlic Doritos or just rosemary Doritos. It's because there's a thing called flavor saturation. So the reason they use all of those different cheeses in nacho cheese, if you turn over a bag of nacho cheese Doritos, there's like 5 different cheeses in there because your taste buds can't pick up on exactly what that is. So you're constantly kind of searching and trying to like determine what that taste is and what it is that you like about it. So you won't see a garlic Dorito because after a while you'll get sick of having garlic Doritos and you won't eat as many. And they know this, okay? And then the last one, and this is really important, it's called diminishing calorie, and a Cheeto is a great example. So if you eat a piece of steak, when you eat steak, it swells up in your mouth and it gets bigger, so you have to take a small piece of steak. You eat a Cheeto, as you bite into it, will actually shrink, and it's called diminishing calorie. And what happens is your body doesn't hormonally recognize those calories coming in. So now you're relying on like yourself to feel Thanksgiving full and just bloated from eating a ton of Doritos. Well, how many Doritos? They just shrivel down into nothing. And if you're not getting the hormonal sensation that tells you you're full, and you're not getting a physical sensation, you're going to eat them forever. Okay? So understand, there are these implications from processed foods that are affecting your body. And without that awareness, it's really easy to fall back into what we just talked about, this guilt, because you wonder, why the hell did I eat all these? I'm a piece of shit. I can't believe I did that. I told myself I'd only have 2 cookies. And I'm like, of course you had the whole box because it's impossible not to. So understand how food is manufactured, I think, is one of the most liberating things that you can do. So check out that article. Checking time. So there's then, again, the physiological impact. You got to understand that those foods we just talked about, there's a hormonal impact. A Cheeto is not really going to impact the hormone leptin, which essentially goes from your fat stores to your brain and hormonally tells your hypothalamus that you're full. It just doesn't happen. You don't get this hormonal signal. And the best way I've ever heard this described is it's like calling somebody and just no one's on the other line. It's just not happening. But then there's also the neurotransmitter side. So neurotransmitters, think of things like serotonin, dopamine. These are things that make you feel good. So when you eat processed foods, you got to understand you're eating something that is not found in nature. So think about like a, I don't know, like a Snickers bar. When do you find chewy, crunchy, chocolatey, caramely? You don't find that in nature. It's something that's obviously man-made. And what it does, it's going to give you a heightened release of dopamine. And dopamine is essentially a feel-good hormone. So of course you like it. Eric, I love Cheetos. I'm not a Cheeto guy myself. I'm a tortilla chip guy and salsa. Watch out. So again, when you take in something like a Snickers, again, it's so hyper palatable, it's so foreign to your body's kind of innate chemistry, you're going to get an increased hit of dopamine. And if you do this over time, your body essentially has no option but to try to find equilibrium, and it starts to basically remove these dopamine receptors. Okay, so now your body's actually making some systematic changes. Sorry, I can't really see comments too well, so I'm just going to give you a warning because I got this phone shoved into the towel to hold it. So again, when your body it's going to remove these dopamine receptors, and now you're going to require more of a stimulus to get more dopamine to create the same basically head fix. So now you're going to want to eat more. Okay, so again, you got to understand you're making some real changes in your brain essentially. So your response is you're just going to keep eating. So just understand that's a dopamine hit that you're basically chasing, and it is a losing battle to try to do that. People who are leaving are reaching into that. People who are leaving are reaching into that Doritos bag. I got like 7 minutes. I'm going to run through the rest of this. All right, so the big fail. What are you going to do? If you understand that basically it's impossible to not overeat Doritos and Cheetos and all the bad stuff, does it mean you can never have them? Of course not. But here's the big fail. You cannot surround yourself with these hyper palatable processed foods and think you're going to eat them in moderation. Like, you are absolutely setting yourself up to fail, and you're lying. So I always talk about, I don't personally carry guilt when I eat processed food because I know what I'm getting myself into. I'm probably not going to turn this tiny ass little jar of Ben & Jerry's that supposedly is supposed to be 4 servings into 4 servings. It's just not going to happen. So I don't keep that in my house. I'm not going to keep pizzas. I'm not going to keep all this stuff and surround myself with processed foods that are almost impossible to overeat. So how do you indulge when you want to eat processed foods or a food that you would find addictive? It's really simple. You got to control the dose. And this is such an easy little thing to do, and if you just integrate this in your life, this will, I think, change everything. Remove it from your house. You can't have a little bag of Hershey Kisses because you're probably going to crush them. You can't have Doritos in your house because you're probably going to crush them. You can only have it in single serving items, and you got to go out and get it. So again, if you want Doritos, go get a single little like personal bag of Doritos and go to town. Okay? And then carry no guilt. Just get to the point where you have made the decision that you're having that food. It's not on a whim. You're not sitting on the couch snacking, telling yourself like, oh, I should only have a couple. Make a committed effort that, hey, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to enjoy this. I know it's not really good, but I don't care because it's in this limited portion that I've already mentally committed to. So the easiest way is get single food items and get the best stuff. Don't have shitty ice cream from your freezer that's all freezer burned and leaves you semi-satisfied, and then you're going to go get more. Go to your local ice cream parlor and get the best ice cream you can, enjoy it, and then move on. And again, obviously carry no guilt. So moderation, that's kind of what we were just talking about. You cannot try to moderate the food in your house. It's so crazy that people think they can use willpower to practice moderation as an eating strategy. It's crazy. Don't do it. Use willpower to practice moderation as a buying strategy. You can actually take a moment in time when you're at the grocery store and commit to either buying a single serving or a big container. But you will not be able to, throughout the course of the week, when you come home stressed and your kids are driving you nuts and your work's hard, that you're not going to probably nurture through those unhealthy foods if they're there. However, if it's 10:30 at night, you're probably not going to drive down to the store and buy ice cream. But if it's there, you're going to eat it. So dopamine. Love crushing Doritos, Kyle. Yeah, who doesn't? Of course. So dopamine. There's other ways that you can get dopamine hits. Obviously, a really cool one is you can use exercise. Now, the good thing is you don't have to go just smash workouts to get a dopamine hit. You could actually just go for a walk. So a lot of low-level activity will actually release dopamine. And then another one is being creative. So whether that's through like the arts, working on a project, these are all things that if you're having actual hormonal cravings, not hunger cravings, you could actually get a dopamine release and kind of give yourself that mental boost by being creative. And you've probably experienced this. I experienced this. Somebody's going to disagree. I know one person is going to disagree with what I'm about to say on here, Veronica. So I'll go into a positive state and feel good if I'm getting something organized or doing the dishes. She's like, you never do the dishes. That for me is a state of flow where I'm kind of getting some stuff done and I feel good about it. But it could be, again, you could be somebody who likes to draw. There's an art aspect or, again, some type of creative purpose. So that is literally all I wanted to talk to you about today, was processed foods and emotional eating, and I got it done in like 15 minutes. If anybody has any questions, I'll stick around for a couple minutes to answer them if I can read them. And then for anybody who wants more information, if you want to grab a free guide with a free workout, go to livegreatlifestyle.com/free guide, and you can grab a free workout plan that'll kind of get you started on the health and fitness side of things. And then, sorry, I'm looking at the comments because I have you guys stuffed in a roll of towels on this stretching table right now. So if anybody's got any questions, fire them away. Otherwise, I'm going to get off here in about 3 to 4 minutes. Carl, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. Anybody else? Questions? Or did everybody leave to go get Doritos? Is that what just happened? Hopefully not. All right. No questions? Making it easy. All right. Everybody have a great day. Yeah, Kyle, you're off to eat Doritos? Hopefully not. All right. Everybody have a great day. I'll catch you on the next one, and take care.